Alrighty. I'm live. Okay, come on. This is live. This is live. Where is everybody? Okay, I'm going to start in a minute whether there's anybody here or not. Scorpio, good, good, good. Everything's working. Okay, we'll make this short and sweet. Short and sweet it shall be. This is on public, right? Jesus, I better check. Do-do-do-do. Let me see here. It is on public. Okay. Live. Let me see here. Okay, it's public. Hello, Aaron Kemp. You're the first. I'm not going to sit here and wait. So what I'm going to do is put up the smudge. If you're the only one that gets it, good for you. But you and me. Just you and me. Okay, let's see here. All right. So this is a Scorpio reading for July 2019. And we're asking for some cleansing here for this general free public reading for Scorpio for July 2019. Yes. No, don't do that. Get in there. Me too. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Wouldn't that be great? You guys be able to smell all these wonderful smells. It always reminds me of holding a campfire in my hand is what it feels like. And it reminds me the smell of it. When you smell the cedar burning, very reminiscent of a campfire, which is wonderful. I got a little bit of everything in here. My sweetgrass is not ready to be picked yet, so that's the only thing missing. I've got everything else in here. I haven't gotten to the garden center yet, but the weather's not been the greatest anyways, but I'd like to pick up a couple of sage plants. And I grow my own and then harvest them in the fall, and I hang them and dry them, and there's nothing like getting a smudge when it comes right out of your garden. This is beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh my goodness. There we go. I don't know where everybody's at. This is weird. I checked the settings on this. It's for public, and it must be the time of night I'm doing it's wrong for my people or something. There we go. That's a nice smudge. There we go. Okay. Now, let's see here. I'll borrow a few minutes in between. Okay, Hazel Ghost. You need to grow your... Oh, there's nothing like it, I gotta tell you. Bohemian Speltina. Dinner time for a lot of people, yes. Especially most of my viewers are out of the U.S., but I've got them all over the world. The U.K., there's a lot that come out of the U.K. I'm actually shocked at times where some of the people come from. One time was an army base in Afghanistan. I'm serious. That's where I was reading for, was an army base. So the American army base, it was just very, very interesting. And people that live like in the middle of the Borneo forest and stuff, and it's like, how are you even getting online? It's amazing. People that live in the middle of nowhere in the Netherlands, you know, it's just very strange. Very, very strange. But there's nothing like garden fresh sage. There's nothing like it. It's beautiful. Good Bohemian, we're coming up here in a minute. Yeah, there's only what? I'm not getting a number, but I know there's only a couple of you in here. I put the smudge up to kind of get things going, and then you guys started to come in. So it is dark. We're just getting dark now at 9:26. We're at the end of the blue hour. As a person, I do a lot of photography. This is the very end of the blue hour. This will drag on for a little bit. We're 9:26, by about 9:40, 45, it should be really dark out there. So, but the sun here, daybreak starts at 5 a.m. at the same time, so it's a long day. Hi, JQ from Texas. Oh, thanks, Tina. I collect them as they come up in my memories, like on Facebook, and I'll go, there's a good one to add to the channel. There's another good one, trying to show off what is Chance Harbor and what it looks like. So, yeah. Where you at? Leisure Ghost. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry, but I'm an hour ahead of you. God, you could be in Pennsylvania. You could be in Ontario somewheres. I'm guessing the 1 hour difference. Oh, I wish you could too. If you were on Facebook, you could do that, but I don't think you can do it here. I don't think you can send a picture through YouTube that way. A lookbook. Yeah, a lot of people have said, when you're going to make a coffee table book kind of a thing. You're in New England. You're just down the coast from me a little tiny bit. Then you're not far at all. You're not far at all. 7:27 in rural Wisconsin. Yeah, there's a difference. 2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah. Is it Amazon? Lobsters, yeah. I've got a couple good pictures of lobsters here that I had laid out, and they're pretty. You look at it and you say, there's the Maritimes. That's what they call us, Maritimers. We're in Atlantic. Some people say we're Easterners. Well, yeah, we are East, but we are known as the Maritime Provinces here. We're known as Atlantic Canadians as well, but we all identify with being a Maritimer, so, yeah. Is it hot there? Oh, gosh. I suppose you're in rural Wisconsin. I would imagine you're far inland. It's going to be warm, absolutely. Okay. I'm socked in with fog right now. I have been for the last 2 hours. It's been raining here. Our long weekend. Happy July 4th to the Americans, and happy July 1st to the Canadians. We're both celebrating our mother country's birthday. So it's July 1st for us. This is our long weekend, and we're being washed out. There's nothing you can do about it. You know what I say? It's better than snow. And the fog helps to keep us a little younger. Makes us look a little younger anyway. So we try to, and it's free. It's adds atmosphere. Your boyfriend does, really? Interesting. No, that's right, Aaron. You were correct. I won't repeat what you just said, but yes, I agree with you. In Bohemian, you're French Canadian in Quebec. Okay. I got a long story with myself as far as the French culture and background and traditions and all that go. I had my DNA done. I already knew this anyway, but I needed to see what else was in there, and I had no surprises. I am 80% French, and the rest is English and Scottish. Is Ireland and Scotland. That's where a lot of them come from. They've gone way off the thing. Swedish comes in there as well, and maybe the Dutch. I'm not sure. Very small percentage there. But my first language as a child, at the time I was 3, almost 4 years old, was pure French. I didn't speak English. I didn't know English. I knew nothing about it, but my mother and I were making a move, and we were moving to St. John, New Brunswick, that hated equally the black, if you were black or if you were French. They hated equally. So I know what racism's all about. I experienced it as a little girl, a child of 3 and 4 years old, so I know how that feels. But anyways, so I had to learn to speak English. I had to learn because I would be starting school you know. And but everybody till the time I was like 12 referred to me always the little French girl with the long dark hair. I had hair down. I never had my hair cut the first 11 years of my life. Long, long, dark hair, and very fine and very thick. But everybody would say that the little French girl up the street, or the little French girl in Mrs. So and So's classroom, or that's how I was referred to. So, you know, it's yes, do that. Send pics on Facebook. Yes, I'm okay. I've got a cold right now, Tina. I've got a cold, but I don't feel too bad. If I felt bad, then I wouldn't be here. So yeah, yep. It's hard to break into when people pick the accent up. When I'm around my people, the French, you might say, I understand very little of it. I don't, because it wasn't allowed to be spoken at all. We were to be English people, so we would fit in without a fight. Weren't supposed to tell anybody we were French or anything like that. So I was surrounded by English people. Eventually, the French language for me was lost. That people say I haven't lost it. They say you still have it. Throw you into French culture for about 3 to 6 months and you would all come flying back. I don't know about that, but it's interesting. But when I get around my French people, my mother still carries somewhat of the accent. And if I'm speaking to her over the phone, and let's say there's nobody around me and my boys happen to stop by, right off within a minute, they'll say, "You were talking to your mother." They do it all the time. Watch out for those June bugs. Don't let them in. Anyways, so they know my mother, as hard as she tried to drop it, there's still some there. Some people can't make it out. But when I get around French people, I have to keep pulling back into English. It's not that I'm speaking French, but I'm taking on the mannerisms. I'm taking on, it's like a second skin to me. It's weird. And I feel very different when I'm in northern New Brunswick. Any of the little French villages through northern New Brunswick, that's where most of the Acadians are. And it's the same thing. It's this, that, and the other thing, eh? You know? It's that kind of thing. Yes, green is good for the ground. You're right about that. It makes everything very green. Fur trappers, yes, yes. And your father, oh my goodness, so he's about 10. There's a big difference. Thank you, Tina. Yeah, I'm getting there. You know, the fog is good, a good thing. I don't mind the fogs. Where was my missing pendulum, Aaron? Where was she? I have no flippin' idea where she was. I got up. I left this chair one night. I turned around to come back and I stepped on something hard. The same spot I just walked from. And there she was under my foot. Where she came from, I have absolutely no idea. Where she was, I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, of all. And it was, what I'll tell you, it was the next night after. The night before that, I revealed a new pendulum. Somebody said maybe she felt threatened. Because it turned out to be another female, a Lila. She names herself Lila. And next thing I know, the very next day, there Lilith is. I don't know what was going on, but everybody's thinking that anyways. Yeah. Poitou. Poitou. I'm probably saying it wrong. Poitou. Poitou. Is that correct? Poitou. Yeah, she had a vacation. She became jealous. Yeah. What does Poitou mean? What does it mean? I've never heard the word before. I'm feeling like I should know it. I don't know. I gotta get into shuffling these cards. I do know that. Okay, let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to get this up. This is for Scorpio. And my goodness, there's no way. Scorpio, you don't know what you're going to get. I never know what I'm going to get with Scorpio. So, you know, yes. Hiya, Joey1684. How you doing? A puppy or little fuzzy thing, I think. Ha! Well, you know when my mother gave birth to me, before my birth father interfered with everything, she did not want to name me Nathalie. My birth name is Nathalie Marie Bienvenue. I am known as Miss Welcome. And Natalie stands for Child of Christmas, this sort of a thing. So I know these names well. But my mother didn't want to name me Natalie. She said, no, I want to name her. In English, it's sky or heaven as ciel, C-E-I-L-E, or C-E-I-L, with the, what's it called, a grivier, over the E, I think it is. I'm not sure. You'd know more than I would. Yeah, I'm getting ready to start, Joey. You just missed the smudge, but if you want the smudge bad enough, you just go back to, we'll timestamp it. I didn't wait along for the smudge. I got right into it. So, yeah. So anyway, I thought, well, that kind of disappointed me to be named after, Sky or Heaven would have been pretty cool. But he didn't like it. So, and to make up for it, my mother would say, you were named after the actress Natalie Wood, and you even look like her. I'd say, okay, but she's dead now. I don't want to know this. I remember her well. So, there we go. Get whatever you like there, Tom. I can do that. Talk to some of my sons here. He could be gone tomorrow for another couple of weeks, but never know from one day, but he worked all day. I was just chilling out. Where in private readings, I don't have anybody come out and walk around. It's just me and the person that I'm reading for. I wouldn't stand for him. My husband was alive. I'd make him leave the room. I'd say, I don't care. Get out of this room and get out right now. It's not the same. I can't do it if there's another person in the room. I'm weird that way. So, anyway, yeah. Yes, Tina. Natalie Marie. Yes, Tina Marie. I remember that, Tina. Livermore Falls. Thank you very much, Judy. Thank you so much. You know what? All the girls had the name Marie or Mary. All the French Catholics. Not just the French, not just the Catholics. It's the French Catholics. And all the boys had a middle name of Joseph. So yeah, it does kind of stem from that. So I say, where's Marie come? Well, everybody calls their daughter, they give their daughter the middle name of Marie or Mary. Mary Catherine, this sort of a thing. So one long sentence, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I know. I got a lot of names. And I wasn't raised as Bienvenue. I was raised as Drew, D-R-E-W, and that comes from the Scottish as well. I had a stepdad. He raised me from the time I was 3 going on 4, and he was heaven sent. He was the best dad a girl could have asked for. I loved him an awful lot. My birth father was a scad, you might say, but my birth father was, or my stepfather was everything a father's supposed to be, and then some. We really were close, so I was very lucky that way. Yeah. The same with Italians. Your middle name is Marie as well, Asia. Oui. Yes. So anyways, we got to get this under the go here. They don't want to see the chat and they want to see the cards. I tell you, I just finished Libra. What a reading. I loved it. At one point, I got teared up even. I almost lost control. I got emotional. What a great reading. It would just be all my 3 top favorite cards. Number 1 is the Magician, the Manifester. And my second favorite card is the Star. She brings hope. And my third favorite card is the 9 of Hearts. That's your wish card. Love them. They all showed up in the reading. I was just like, the angels were singing, you might say. Good evening, Lotus of Learning and Spirituality. Welcome, 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 welcome. Warm welcome to you. So we're doing Scorpio. This is for Scorpio. We want enlightenment for Scorpio. We want guidance for Scorpio. And anything that Scorpio is searching for, I hope that they find it within this reading. I'm getting the itchies. So one more run through, and then I think I'm going to be cutting the deck, and we're going to get into the reading here. How long? We're 20 minutes in. It shouldn't have been that long. But I forgot, and I get talking with people. All right, let me cut the deck and see what we have. See if Lilith agrees, because it's going to be in a really long reading. Good thing for timestamps, though. There's no excuse for complaining when you know when it starts. It'll be time-stamped. All right, Lilith. Lilith, Lilith, Lilith. Of the top 5 cards as this deck stands, the cards that are meant for this general free public reading for the sign of Scorpio for July 2019 are the top 5 cards, the cards that are meant for this reading. Yes or no? There we go, she's kicking in. So the top 5 cards are definitely the cards that are meant for this Scorpio reading for the month of July 2019. Wonderful, you may rest. Okay, we'll put her down. All right. And I'm going to pop over to my other camera where I can see a little bit better. There we go. That's a lot clearer for me. I wish you guys got it the same way. Live chat's unavailable on this page for some reason. Now it worked, you know what, for Libra. I couldn't believe it. I was doing everything from this window, and it was fantastic, and now it's not loading, and I don't know why, but that's okay. All right, I'm going to pull the camera down so you guys can see what's what. All right. Let's see here. Your very first card is going to be your overall energy. Scorpio, Scorpio, Scorpio. What do we got? Not bad. Ratty old looking card, but it holds the 3 of Cups reunion. We got the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's a very powerful number, number 3. Usually high energy with this card. A lot of activity going on, a lot of people around that you're dealing with, interacting with. Card number 2, beautiful, falls into your wealth and your finances, and look what you got. You got the Ace of Pentacles, the best card you could possibly get to lay in that area. Okay, second card, your hearth, your home, your relationships, your finance, not your finances, but your intimate relationships as well, and family and friends. We've got the Fool, and we got a new beginning starting somewhere. Your next card we're looking at, card number 4, is your challenges, should there be any. I tell you, Libra didn't even have challenges. I couldn't believe it. The Hermit in Contemplation. And maybe that's just trying for you after all this activity and a new beginnings. There's a lot going on here for you guys. I'm sensing a lot of movement. There's a lot of interaction going on. You are going to need some alone time for some of you. You're going to be begging for it. Your message from Spirit, and I don't know where this is coming from, but we're going to find out. I don't like this card. I never did. It is the 7 of Swords. It's all about loss, but 7s are also about possibilities within tarot. So we do have that to hang on to, and I don't care what anybody wants to call that. Call it what you will, but I'll grab the good while I can get the good, and I don't care if somebody says, oh yeah, you took a nasty card and you made it into something good, you made it into what you want. No, I don't make it into what I want. I listen to what's coming through, all right? And 99.9% of the time, I tell you exactly what I see, feel, and hear. Always, always, always. If there's any good to be found, I will dig for it, but I will not create it. I will not create it. I don't do that. There was a tarot reader once, and I always had a lot of respect for her. The reason being was she kept her nose out of other people's business. I just heard a motorcycle rumbling by. It was awful loud, but she always kept her nose, and she seemed very professional, believable, very good at what she does. And then one day I come on and I heard her saying she was watching another reading from another tarot reader, and the reader pulled out the 3 of Hearts, which is the heartbreak card of tarot. And the first thing the reader said was, we're going to find some good in this card. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you. 3 of Hearts 3 of Swords doesn't bring any good to anybody. I don't care how you look. I'm sorry. And I felt she was talking to me. I really felt this woman was talking to me. I didn't respond. I didn't say anything back. But I thought, you read the way you read. I'll read the way I read. The way I respect the way you read and everybody else reads. I've got nothing to say about it. It's none of my business how other people read. Shouldn't be anyway. So I kind of stopped watching her. I don't watch her as often as I used to. And she's credible, But I don't do that. I don't jump around and say what other people... I may say in general, like pendulum swings. Like some people, you watch them on YouTube, and their whole arm is doing this, or it's doing this, or the whole hand and the arm, and it's like they're moving. It's like, you're not supposed to do that with a pendulum. It's the pendulum. It's spirit. It's the energies, okay, that you put forward that move. But anyways, the 7 of Swords, I don't know. When we get to it, we'll see what happens. Rest of the reading doesn't look bad at all. You got 3 of Cups. It's emotional, therefore it's the mill. It's family. It's people that you're close to. It's people that are around you. You are around them. You connected to each other. You're connected to each other. This is a card of reunion. This is a card of coming together. It's a card of celebration. It's a card about spending time. And this fits so well. It's for July. And what's June and July and August all about? Family reunions. It's all about weddings taking place during the summer months. Could it be a funeral? Yes, funerals are like family reunions as well. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be thinking, yeah, they are. And you'll see relatives you haven't seen in 5 or 6 years, well, since the last funeral, you know? And that's what happens. Everybody gets together. Well, most people, most traditions within the funeral traditions, they gather afterwards. They have a little cup of tea, coffee, and they sit around. They console each other. They have a little sandwich, a little pastry. They connect. They talk about the person that passed. They talk about each other. They reconnect, and then they're gone again. And they're not brought back together again until the next passing happens within the family. I'm not feeling so much of passing. I'm feeling this a time of, for somebody, you do this every year. The family gets together every year for a family reunion. There's probably 50 to 80 people that show out for it. Maybe this year you're hosting, or you've got something to do with hosting, or putting some of them up. You would have to put each other up. A weekend-long event. For some, they'll stay the whole week because they've traveled very far. They didn't come and travel 6,000 miles to stay 2 days and then go home. So they're going to make the most of it. So you may have some overnight guests that won't just be overnight. They might be around for a while. Enjoy them while they're there. You may not get to see them again once they leave, and that's one way you're going to need to look at some of them in order to keep the patience and keep the peace here. Your keywords for this card are celebration, friendships, a lot of healing going on here, a lot of family around as well. There'll be indulgences. You'll be indulging. Lots of, I call creativity because that's how I see it, pops of color coming up in your world that you weren't expecting. And it's making you smile. It's making you laugh. It's making your heart feel lighter by feeling this. And that's the general atmosphere. That's the mood. It's very, very lighthearted. No grudges being held. No noses out of joint. No backs turned on each other. Everybody's come together under one. And really, you're feeling the humanity for somebody. You're looking around, and maybe you're having your little spot of tea, and you're taking in the whole scene in front of you. All these people beautifully coming together, and everybody coming with good spirits. Everybody leaving their guns on the other side of the doors, not allowed in. Everybody's balanced out. Everybody's, the playing fields have been leveled. Old feelings are put to the side. We come together, and we come together as love, and you're seeing that. And you're going, oh my goodness. Look at Uncle Bert and Uncle Harry. That's amazing. They're waving and smiling at each other across the room, across the yard, across the hall, across the tent, wherever it should be. And people are smiling. And yeah, they're having a few. There's some hooch being passed around, and maybe some other stuff being passed around. Who knows? But it's all done in love, and they've all come together, and they've all said, we'll keep the peace. We will not air our dirty laundry. We will not air our differences. And it turns out to be one of the best events you've ever seen your family at, and you're taking it in, and you're moved by what you're seeing. You're really moved by what you're seeing. Maybe you're the only one taking it that way. Maybe you're not. But you're looking around, and you're thinking, if the whole world would do this for one day, for 4 hours, 6 hours, take all your differences and leave them out there at the other side of the door and come together. What a difference it could make. Very frustrating, but very enlightening at the same time. But these gatherings could be, as I said, family reunions, weddings. Two families could be joined in love. That's predicting a wedding there as well. This 3 is a beautiful card for predicting weddings. It is. It's predicting them weddings and parties and reunions. But if you do the logical thing, it is summer, as I said, and a lot of these things, that's when they go on, so don't be surprised. If you get invited to something like that, or you're saying, yeah, that's true, I've got 2 or 3 things I have to attend before the end of August. Gee, that's right, but it's not me, it's not tarot, it's just logical that this is going to apply to a lot of you. If you're working on any projects right now, anything that's creative, throw yourself into that prioritize it. Make sure that you get to work on it. Make sure that you get it done and move on. You feel really good about that and move on to the next thing. You're being very more productive during the month of July, especially towards the end, than you have been in a while. You're getting a lot done. Whatever it is you've got on the go, you're being encouraged to get into the zone. This is a beautiful card because it represents support, it represents family, it represents love, laughter, music, socializing, and that lightheartedness that's going to carry you through the month of July. I think it's fantastic, Scorpio. Where's your nasty side, Scorpio? Where's the stinger? Waiting for the stinger to come. And there's nothing here to really show that at all. What's happened to you? Are you softening up? No. I kind of like the sass and I don't know what word I'm looking for, but there's a sass that comes with being a Scorpio. I can't even think of the word to describe what I'm thinking at the moment. But anyway, let's move on to the next card. And you guys are just going to love this. The Ace of Pentacles. Prosperity. In every sense of the word. As I said in Libra, before yours here, when I say finances and wealth, finances, yes, that means what it means. It is what it is. It's money. Cha-ching. The wealth covers other areas of your life as well. The wealth covers your health. It covers the people in your life, your support system. What is it that comes into your life every day that's always there and you can count on being there, like the people, your job, your home life, a clerk that works the morning shift at the bakery down at the corner, they're up before anybody. I mean, people you expect to see every day that complete your life. That it's these things complete. You've got your world, you've got your life, you've got your job, you've got your family, you've got your friends. And then everything else around you that makes up your world comes into play. And you don't think much of the baker down at the corner that's up at 4:30 every morning and flicking lights on, and they're the only ones in the whole downtown that have lights on and they're hard at work. You don't think about them, but remove them from your daily life. Remove it, take it away. Stick in a shoe store. It's not the same. It's those little things that bring the real pops of color to our life. They bring, you know, it's like a skating rink. That's what I'm seeing here. And we've got the sideboards, right? The wooden sideboards that go around a skating rink. Anybody that's Canadian will know what I'm talking about. And it stops the puck, and it stops the skaters from going right off the edge. They give them something to bounce back on, something to hold them up, something to keep everything where it's supposed to be, within those boards, on that ice. And all those little things that we walk through every day. Maybe you take a bus every day to go to work. It's the bus driver and the people that you meet every morning when you climb on the bus or the train, whatever it is that you take as your mode of transportation, when you need to leave your house every day, when you need to go to the market, the people that wait on you, the people that help you, the people, you know, your doctor's office, the clinic up the road with the nurse, you know, all these little things complete the world that we live in. They all complete it. They are the sideboards of our world, the people outside of our immediate circle. They are the sideboards of our world. They stop us from slipping off the edge. You see what I'm saying? They catch us, they hold us, they support us. They are what is familiar. They are what is tangible. They are what is a very important part of our life and our daily life, but they're unintrusive. So really, when we're happy to see them, we're really happy to see them. I'm like that when I go to my convenience store. When I walk in the daytime, I know who's going to be there. I never know who's going to be there in the evening, but in the daytime, I know. And I'm always happy to see the clerk because she's part of that experience of my going out, of chit-chatting, finding out what's going on with other people in the community, all kinds of good stuff. But there's those little things that complete us. They make our world more well-rounded, more balanced, And that's coming in here, and that is important. And that's what I mean by wealth. The wealth of your life, the wealth of your relationships, um, the wealth of good health, mental stability, emotional stability, these things all come in the form. Money-wise, Scorpio, I'm not seeing anything here that would say that your bank account's going to drop too much, or your money flow is going to slow down or stop. You might get a hiccup. I'm hearing there might be a hiccup for somebody. That means you might go a week, and okay, maybe two, where there's a bit of a dry spell. But you know why? That's because you're doing it the right way. You're paying off some bills that need to be paid, and you know you're going to have to fill the pinch for a week, maybe two, and you will do it that way. You'll start to trim things off that maybe are more wants and needs, and you can rough it for 2 weeks, right? Brown bag it when you go to work. This sort of thing, you make little cuts. So don't take in the theater on the weekend, which usually runs a good $150, just stepping out the door, because it includes dinner and, haircut, whatever. Probably more when you start looking at it that way. But you're going to get through that. That's only for a few of you. It's a bit of a hiccup in your finances, but it's going to be all right. You're not going to be broke and homeless and destitute overnight. That's not going to happen here. Not in this reading. Is not happening. For the rest of you, those that are riding on this turtle of luck, right? Slow and steady wins the race. You got some money coming in. There are some of you that you are going to have and for some, it's a reward for a job well done. So be prepared for that. For some, it could come in the form of friendship and support. For some, it could come as a proposal of love, an offering of love. We're not going to go there, because that could open up a whole different can of worms, couldn't it? I caught that. Don't think I didn't catch it. I caught it. And girls know what I'm talking about. Any good fortune that comes your way during the month of July, Scorpio, maximize on anything good. Don't let anything good go floating around under your nose and you're like, no, I'm good. I don't need it. Let it go by. I'm not going to jump on. Yeah, you need to. You may be one of the ones that's going to have the hiccup. That's going to help that transition go a little bit smoother. There won't be a lot of self-indulging going on during the month of July. Not over the top stuff anyway. That's not going to happen. You'll be able to treat yourself. You'll barely notice that you're a little restricted during the month of July, but it's not by much. It's not a big deal. So I'm not going to talk about it any longer because it's not an issue. It's not a big deal. It's just a bit of a heads up to expect it. Maybe you can start getting prepared for it now. If you're able to put a little bit of petty cash to the side, do that now and you won't even feel that transition when you move through it. That would be a great thing. Keywords here are finances, property for some, security, creativity again, which is beautiful. There's a possibility of a new love coming in for somebody. They're there. Somebody will be surprised by that when they do. Very surprised, taken off guard. You don't see this one coming for somebody. Somebody's going to approach you and show that they are interested you in that way, and you're not going to see it coming. It's going to catch you off guard. It's going to wrinkle your cool factor just a little bit, Scorpio. Maybe a little rattled. Might be visible to some. You'll have some explaining to do. Why you acting like that for? You know, this sort of a thing. So, anyway, the next card we're looking at here is your hearth and your home and your family life. This is another long reading, almost an hour. Oh, boy. These are longer doing them this way. They still save time for me doing the live readings, but they're longer to put out. They end up running in longer because I stop in the beginning and I chat a bit with people. So we have to remember that. That's why the timestamps will always be put in. Because I'd love to just sit here and chat about nothing some night. I think that would be a blast and a half. So we're looking at the Fool. And there's a new beginning in a relationship for somebody. This is an existing relationship where one person in the relationship, he had a wall and said, I'm not spending the rest of my life living this way with this person. I love them dearly. They still have the good qualities they had about them when I met them. But something's grown stale and I'm not liking it. And either it's going to change or we're going to change completely. We are not going to be we anymore. That's for one of you need to feel, for most Scorpios, they need to feel that magnetism with their partner. And when their partner looks at them in that way, they're literally mesmerized by them. They hit a spot in you that nobody else can hit. This is for people in long-term relationships. But you being Scorpio, and I don't know what the other sign is. I have no idea. I'm not getting anything. It could be a water sign, where water is represented so heavily here. And also to know that water seeks its own level. It always does. That's just the physics of nature. That water always seeks its own level. There's nothing uneven or unbalanced here. That is not a problem. But there is somebody the other side of what makes you both who you are with each other. They have gotten too comfortable in the relationship and in that place in their life, and they say, oh, I don't need to try anymore. I have who I want. And they are becoming a bit boring, the B word. And it's not something that sits well with you. You're not, because I hear somebody saying, I'm not retired yet. I'm not 65 or 68 or whatever it is, wherever you're at. And I'm not going to live that way. I'm still young. I still have energy and I still get excited. I can't stand the thought of sitting home 7 days a week, 7 nights a week, never going anywhere, never exploring, never doing anything. This is going to change. It's going to change right here. It's going to change right now. And I'm inviting the pops of color into my life. If they don't like it, I feel really hurt about that. But this is going to benefit us both. It's going to benefit our relationship. But you are feeling a tiny tickle of resentment that you're having to notice this on your own, and you're having to deal with this on your own. You're having to get that ball rolling on your own. But you know what, Scorpio? So be it. As long as you're able. As long as those movements that you're making are going to pay off, it's going to bring life back into your relationship again. That's all you care about. Don't care about the destination on how you get there. Not at this situation, you don't. You just make sure you get where you need to be, where you both need to be. So I'm feeling any love coming in has already been established. Only you're too damn comfortable within it. We still need to laugh with each other, laugh at each other, have a good time, learn to let go, learn to not be so darn proper with each other all the time, and just let go and be ourselves and let your true spirits come through. Sometimes we're still together, but we've lost each other. You'll find each other again if it's what you want. Remember that, okay? Just remember that. I'm feeling the heat off this card tonight. It's just like the reading earlier. I could just feel the power. I could feel the heat. And I could feel the energy of this. I know this is hitting home for somebody. I know it is. There's a beautiful rain falling out there. And I can't open my window without removing my screen. Because I'd like you guys to hear. It's really comfortable. Be practical with your dreams. Make sure your dreams are realistic. Make sure you got your feet on the ground. Especially if you're practicing your strongest inner power is manifestation. And make sure that you're, working a desk job. Maybe you make above minimum wage and you're doing okay with your life, but you're not stinking rich. You don't own a big yacht that's tied up in the nearest harbor. And that's your dream, is you want to, the only way that's going to happen if you've got a very, very rich sick relative that remembers you before they leave, or you win the Powerball or something like this. But realistically, what are the odds? The odds are against those things that they will happen. We have to remain realistic. So, excuse me, here comes my cold. It sounds worse than I feel, believe me. But rely on your intuition. Any case scenario, rely on your intuition at all times. That's going to be the one thing that guides you. It's going to help you. Focus on your goals. Don't let yourself get distracted by other people or other people trying to talk you out of what it is you think you want. You know what you want. There may be for somebody, there may be some people that are trying to distract you into what it is that your goals are and what your dreams are. There is a bright new future in a brand new territory for somebody in this reading. And that same person, you're taking a great big journey over land or sea. So you're either going by air, you're flying to where you're going, or by land, you're going by wheels, and it's a long, long trip, or by train. You could be traveling by train as well. The advice of this card for you, this is where you really trust your own intuition. If you like what it is you're looking at, if you like what it is that you're seeing in front of you, then you go ahead and you jump right in. Envelop yourself in it. Embrace it. If it feels right, do it. Keywords are risk and innocence, departures, journeys, discoveries, and starting over for some of you. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Oh. The Hermit. We've got the Hermit, and what was it was the Three of Cups, wasn't it, your very first card? Is it you starving and craving for some alone time here? Some of you are going through some new changes, and you need alone time to just embrace them, or ask yourself, should I embrace these things? Trying to, some of you are going to have to face some things that you were not prepared to face. Some things have come up out of left field, things that you weren't counting on. Look at how off that is. That bugs me. There we can't get it all the way. Just perfect. There we go. Needing the alone time to really find yourself. Something has you questioning yourself as well. This could be a feeling of not, do I even know what I am? Do I even know what I want? Doubting your own self at times. And this card's all about getting and pulling yourself to the side without help from anybody else. This is complete pure alone time. And getting to know yourself on a much deeper level. And this is, we've come down to the final count here, and for some reason that's what I'm hearing. You need to figure out what it is you want and where do you want to go with whatever it is you're involved in. Again, make sure your dreams are valid, they're realistic, that they're attainable as well. I'm hearing this almost like this is a final retreat. So I either come back the way I was when I went in, and there's nothing changed. You're just going to keep your stance and keep things the same way. Or you're coming back, and you're almost thinking about reinventing yourself. You're This is maybe one person, if that. You're opening yourself up and you're willing and accepting of any change that's coming your way. You don't want to be the old you anymore. Well, maybe there's some things you need to work on here. I don't know what to say about this. From what I'm hearing, I don't. Allow yourself to be guided by your inner light. These changes that are within you, these deep changes, they're not going to go on forever. You need to know that. In your reality, there may be some overwhelming people in your life, and you do need to create some distance between them and you. They're not serving you any positive purpose in your life. So you may have to get a little, well, Scorpio's got no problem with saying what they want to say or being brave. Just go for it. Do whatever you think is right. But don't let people take, because when we got overwhelming people in our lives, we tend to, yeah, we can stand up to them and stick up for ourselves. Every time there's a problem, there's the problem. It's every time. Scorpio, if you got a repetitive person in your life that what they're doing, and you say, yeah, but they never win. I never give in to them. No, but what kind of energy are you using up every time you have to deal with that person? You never thought about that, the energy that they drain from you. And you do drain your energy. And if you say it doesn't, then you're lying to yourself. Because there's a balancing act going on here. All right? And this person has an influence to a point, but they always seem to influence the wrong side of you. You get ticked off with this person. You don't hate this person. You just find them highly irritating. And you'd rather not deal with them than deal with them. And these people, you'd really have to take, finally, a proper stance. Because just dealing with them for you, it does affect your energy levels. They do win that way, whether you want to admit it or not. They do win. Whether they realize they're winning or losing or not is neither here nor there. There's the reality, though. They are a drain on your energies. Even though you handle them quite well, you're still affected by their very presence. That's the way it is. So no way can it not affect your energy. It affects your energy. You need to deal with that and find a final solution. And this is going to be difficult. This is going to be difficult because this person is very, very close to you. They're probably a relative. There's somebody you cannot logically say to yourself, well, I'm never going to like this person. We're never going to get along. Therefore, I don't ever have to talk to them again. When you do have to talk to them, you have to deal with them a lot. There's no getting out of that unless you remove yourself from your whole family. And that's just not going to happen. So what you need to do is you need to take the bull by the horns. You need to have one final out with this person and tell them right off, I'm not letting you affect me in any negative way anymore. So please keep your negative thoughts, if they're not positive. Do not bend my ear with your negativity and your non-belief of my capabilities, because I'm not listening to you ever again anymore. I will if you're positive and you're encouraging and you're supporting, and I offer you the same. But I don't tell you how to think. I don't tell you how you should live. You need to stop doing that with me, and you're not doing it anymore. I'm sorry, with all due respect, don't ever speak to me that way again. And we have to get along because of the rest of the family. End of, period. It's a done deal. That's a big thing for you, Scorpio. But you can do it. You need some time to heal from this. You need everybody to back off and leave you alone while you heal. There's some healing going on here. That's upsetting for anybody to have to confront a family member, somebody that's close to us in our lives in that way, to be that direct and that honest with them, and just say you're not putting up with it anymore. And we have to find a way to get along for the rest of the family. It's just that simple. We need to learn to respect each other. And I thought I always respected you, but it was never a two-way street. But now it is. Take it or leave it. There is no choice. There is no option. We either do or we die. It's just that simple. But turn within to yourself. Develop a close relationship between yourself and your creator, yourself and the universe, whatever that is for you. an open, honest, intimate, deep relationship. So when you're really, really troubled, and your friends and your family, your support system maybe isn't available, if you allow yourself to become one with the universe, to be close to the universe, to speak to the universe, you won't know what the word alone means. You won't know what it feels like. They are the comfort. The universe comforts you. The universe holds you. It supports you. It cares for you. And don't think any differently, because it does. You're going to get to know yourself on a much deeper level during the month of July as well. Keywords are thought and retreat. A little bit of travel for somebody here. There's an inner journey going on. There's solitude and seclusion. But damn it, your self-protection is up. You're not anybody hurting you or anything like that. And the very last card, and maybe that's a continuation of the Hermit. We got a card of loss here. Usually it is known as the Thief card of tarot a lot of the time. It's something, is somebody trying to take something from you is a part of this. You've got your suspicions about somebody. This could be the same situation or a different person with a different situation. There's suspicion going on your part, Scorpio, of somebody else. There is definitely something like that going on. And here's the thing, is the moments tick by. You take comfort in knowing this, even if it feels like the furthest thing from happening right now, your suspicions will be validated. You give somebody enough rope, they hang themselves. So there's somebody in your life that you got to be careful of. They certainly don't have your best interest at heart. Now, this could go back to the person that you feel overwhelmed by, or at least they try to overwhelm you. Your suspicions of them, of what their real motive is. If that's the case, your suspicions will be validated. And be validated in front of others that matter in your life. Follow your intuition here to not trust somebody. If your intuition's screaming, don't trust them right now, don't trust them, then you better listen. Before agreeing to any offers during the month of July, it's good to keep your sharp eye out, your spidey senses tingling, as they say. Check out all contracts, paperwork, agreements of any kind, Make sure you check out the details so that you don't get taken for a ride. Something unexpected happens and you're not covered, or they won't come forward. Take extra care of all your possessions. In your life as well. We're talking literal hand-to-hand thief kind of a thing here. And again, the second, another warning here is to protect yourself from people draining your energies. Be on your guard as part of the advice of this card, and protect your assets and examine the motives of others. Use the WIFM theory. What's in it? Only in reverse. And WIFM stands for, what's in it for me? You reverse it and say, what's in it for them? Why is this person all of a sudden being such a big help to me? Why is this person all of a sudden in my life a little bit more than they used to be, and they're very interested in what I'm doing? I don't like this. They're up to something. They are up to something. And keep your guard up with that person. Your feelings, again, are going to, your suspicions are all going to be validated. Examine the motives of others. Your final words in this reading, or your keywords, are theft and negative people, intuition, mistrust, decisions, and protection. So always, always, always put yourself first, so you're no good to anybody else. And you really, really, really do have to take that other person. I'm going to put these back on. I'll chat with you guys for just a second. Unless I can bring you back up, because I've been in my other window and I haven't seen you guys at all. There you are. Okay. Hello, Lottie from Colorado. Your sister's a thief. Gisela. Wow. Okay, Linda. Good for you, Nero. You heed the warning of Tarot. Tarot's never wrong. Yeah. That's interesting, Tuesday, Nickerson. That's very interesting. With them in reverse. That's right, Sun and Stars. With them in reverse. What's in it for them? There's an awful lot of theft of inheritance and stuff that goes on. Absolutely, for sure. It's like stuff out of a movie, eh? Movie of the week. You know, those cheesy movie of the weeks. Always had to do with some rich person dying and people trying to steal the inheritance and killing off the other people. And people don't kill each other, I'm sure, but you can hear that rain. Tina, Marie? I'm very sorry, Gisela Bella. Very sorry to hear that. Oh, really? Oh, I haven't seen. What time are we? We're 10:21. And I really want to open that window, but I think it's raining hard enough that the June bugs won't come out. Not in this kind of rain. Hold on. Because I'm going to finish my cigarette before I hang up here on you guys. So, you might as well. If you can hear this. Let me see. Now I got to get it back in the window. This would be the time a June bug would come out right out of nowhere. There we go. I got it. There we go. Can you hear the rain, Betty? Yeah, isn't it nice? It's relaxing. No, I don't have a fountain in my room. No, that's the rain. There's the drainage thingy that's on the house. What do they call that? Eaves trough. So you hear that running as well as the rain itself. It's a good rain. I just hope we don't have any brave June bugs. We're just about done June bug season too, but they're still quite thick here in the country. Hey, you have a safe night as well, JQ. Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you very much for being here as well. I'm sorry that you've been a victim of theft recently. That's too bad. It's very relaxing. You don't even have thoughts of that. If you want a reading, you know where to find me. Take your time, Tina Marie. Not to worry. Is it dry where you're at, LC? Yeah. Is that right, Linda? That's good for you that you got someone in the family that reads them. That's a good thing. They're always different from me. I mean, anybody can pick up a card and they can read the generic meanings of it. Intuition is such a big part of reading for me. Like I couldn't do it without it. I just couldn't do it without it. It wouldn't be the same. All the readings would fall flat if the card means the same thing every time you use it. The cards for me are just a guide. They're just a little pinch, a little poke. It says go in this direction. Then I hear, and I actually see things, but I hear things. So it's, yeah. Yeah. That usually runs through the family, doesn't it, Linda Cow? Right? It runs through the family. It's almost an inherited thing. My mother was intuitive. And even though I'm not close to my mother, but I know that it comes through her. Okay. Very dry and humid. Yeah. Is Darlene your sister or your daughter? So she'd be clairaudient, right? Yes, Lotus of Learning Spirituality. It takes practice. It just does. There's no other way of getting there. Absolutely no other way of getting there. Thank you, Tuesday. Thank you. Okay, Linda. You're welcome, Betty. You're welcome, Sun and Stars. The cards that I use, they're not my own. I purchased them, and they're called the Oceanic. Is what they are. The Oceanic. Your mother as well, Tina? Yeah, see, you get yours from your mother. Oh, that's nice, Annette. And your cousin as well, Linda. People come into her dreams. Oh, that's freaky. That's a freaky thing. And all it seems to be a mother thing. It really, really does. I don't know. You don't hear it coming through. I've only met one so-called, we'll call him a warlock. I've only met one, and I was shocked when it happened. It seems to be more female related than male. I think males are afraid to tap into that side of themselves, but I believe they have the same gifts, and they need to develop them the same way I do, or you do, or anybody else. You saw orbs this week. Okay. Cancers are highly intuitive. I've gone to complete strangers, like one-on-one, like person-to-person readings over the years. And almost every tarot reader, I sit very quietly, and they say to me, and they look at me, they go, "You're intuitive, aren't you? You're highly intuitive, aren't you? I can just feel it off of you." I'm like, "Yeah, a little bit." So I say a little bit, you know. Feed and nurture those abilities, those telepathic dreams. Feed them. Yes. I see things out of my peripheral vision as well all the time. Yeah, for sure. But nurture the gifts that you're now finally acknowledging. They've been there the whole time. You've been there the whole time. Well, thank you so much, Tina. You absorb, and Sun and Stars, this is for you, yes. You absorb everything and anything you can get your hands on as far as learning materials and absorbing things. You got to find your own sweet spot, your own way of doing things. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like me with the smudging. It's very important to me. And I never picked that idea up off anybody else other than the indigenous people that smudge. And I thought, well, when I smudge, I'm smudging for the same intentions almost. And that's when I began smudging. And we used to do it here at home anyway, before the channel was even born. And so I find different ingredients. And some things are meant for certain things. So you get those ingredients, whatever you can find on your property. Or if you go to a nearby park, you can pick your own ingredients, whatever. For smudging, and then the sharing of it. The intention behind the smudging is clearing up the air, purifying. That's my thing. That's really my thing. Not influenced by anybody else. You got to find your own groove. Something's unique to you, kind of a thing. That's very important. Wonderful. Yeah, you can't expect other people that are outside of that to understand. But here's the odd thing: they have the same gifts. We all do, and some we foster, and some we don't. And orbs, I don't know. They're like trapped electricity of some kind almost. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they're spiritually enhanced or driven. I don't know a lot about orbs. I can't really say very much. Linda, Cal, my dear, I started out on regular playing cards. And believe it or not, I started this channel on regular playing cards as well. They're just as, it is not, the magic is not in the cards. Because those cards, the regular playing cards, they carry messages of their own. Some of them are very different. Okay, you've got the Ace of Spades, right? The Ace of Spades in regular playing cards from years ago. Now they call it Ace of Swords. But that was an instant death card. That everybody, you know, if there were 6 people in a room, if someone's doing tarot and they flip over the ace of spades, the whole room goes this collective gasp of foreboding and fear, because it always meant death. It always meant something horrible. If you got the 9 and the 10 and the spades, you might as well just lay down and die, kind of. So they are different in their own ways. It's all with the reader and the intention behind it, because I could pick up a regular set of cards and my hearts or my cups, and the meanings are pretty well all match up, and I could change things when I get to the ace of spades. I could look at it as the ace of swords and interpret it in that way. It's pretty deep. It's pretty involved. You know, I think it is anyway. Yeah. And do you know, sun and stars? This is a scientific fact. And I think that's why my cold, I'm very susceptible to germs, because I don't expose myself very often to the public. I just don't. I'm not out very often. And my son, he stays with me off and on. He keeps me company for a few days. He's back to the city working, exposed to people. And he brought this cold, and he's had this cold 2 weeks. And he's just felt like he was dying. He sounded like he was dying. Do you know what I was doing? I swear to you, I was putting up a smudge and inhaling it through my nose and breathing it in through my mouth. I figured, because it's scientifically proven that smudges, and I don't think the ingredients matter. I think the fact that they're natural ingredients and they are from nature and you're burning them and making them smolder, they kill off 95% of airborne bacteria. And that is the truth, and I believe it. Usually if I get a cold, I'm down for 6 to 8 weeks with a cold. I'm in bed with it. It hits me hard. And this time I just kept smudging my keyboard and smudging the table, smudging the doorknobs, plus cleaning them manually, right? To try to kill any germs but the airborne ones. When somebody's coughing, somebody's sneezing, that can be a real problem. I should be in bed right now and I'm not. My chest is full, but it's not tight. It's loosing. It's breaking up. I have the odd sneeze. I'm on very, very, as far as like I'm using honey and ginger, all these natural things. They've really, really helped. But I think the smudging was a big part of it. Continue to smudge. Continue to smudge. Yeah. I was the same way, the Lotus of Learning. I was the same way, very intuitive as a child. And that's the way it is. You do build a relationship with your cards. You really do. Oh, that's awful, Linda. That's awful. Yeah, try smudging. Try smudging. You smudge all your corners, and you know, even if you fan it on, say you share your, say like me, I share my computer sometimes with my son. So here he was sick. All over, touching it with his germy hands and his breath and the whole, and I'd come with the smudge bowl and I'd just smudge the bejesus out of my keyboard. You know, places that a clean cough can't get to, the smoke can get into, you know, and literally breathing. I figure my mouth is full of cold germs, my nose, my nasal passages are full of cold germs, so I inhale that and I breathe it in. I swear to God, I feel better afterwards. In every sense of the word, mentally, emotionally, and physically, I feel better. I honor my gifts. I would not be sitting here doing readings if it was any different. So if I was sick, there'd be no way. I hope you get well very, very soon, Sun and Stars. I really do. I should end this reading for now. We are in 1 hour and 14 minutes. People are going to have a heart attack. Yes, you smudged the shit right out of that place Tuesday. Whatever you do. That's right. Good juju. That's what you want all the way around. That's what you want. Open yourself to the universe and the whole 9 yards. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, everybody. Please keep the peace in. You can share that love and that light out with everybody. And remember, watch your thoughts, followed by watching your actions. We are living within the microscope and beneath the microscope of the universe, and it takes notes. When you let that sink in, you let that play in your mind, your integrity comes into play here. A lot of things. It makes you more conscious of what your thoughts even are. And always come from a good place and the best place. Don't let people make you bitter. Peace out for now, and I hope to see you all back here come mid-July. Happy birthday, happy birthday. the Cancer, of course, and you're not Cancer, you're Scorpio. I almost got mixed up. But the best of luck to you all. Thank you so much for being here and all your kind words and interesting stories. I hate to shut it off. I really do. Much love to you too, Tuesday. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Crawford. You're very, very welcome. And Tina Marie, bye for now. See you soon, guys.